Welcome to Angelo Rodeo Live. This is a special edition for Extreme Bulls on 14 April 2024, in case you're watching this into the future. We're about to go into the Coliseum where they're going to have 2 go-rounds of bull riding. But before we get that, we were going to recap where we are as of Performance 8. And we have an interview with Matt Meritt, who is the he's a bullfighter, but he's a barrel man here.
Co-host
of the rodeo. He's going to be over here talking to Chadwick. I'm Joe Hyde. This is Ryan Chadwick. Before we get started, here's a quick message from our sponsor, Jim Bass Ford.
$4.99 per month. $4.99 per month on a new Ford Explorer. You can drive a new Ford Explorer with a third-row seat for only $4.99 per month. This deal is only at Jim Bass Ford, corner of Houston Hart at Arden Road, or 24/7 at BassBunch.com. $4.99 per month on a new Ford Explorer at Jim Bass Ford. Limited time offer.
So we have a lot of action that happened over the weekend, and specifically last night, we have a new leader in barrel racing with the fastest run. We have new leaders in team roping by fastest run and the average.
And the team roping thing, it's like the new leader is better by a whole second, which is 7.4 seconds versus 8.4 for the number 2 guy.
Which is wild. Like, as soon as that time was posted, I was like, oh, no one's catching them.
Yeah. Anyway, but then you couldn't pronounce his name.
I could not. I was like, I'm just going to go ahead and let you guys introduce yourselves.
Well, his name is, you want to try it?
Yep, Dustin Egasquita.
No, it's
Squida.
Egasquiza.
Yeah.
I'm
and sorry,
Levi
Dustin.
Lord.
Yeah.
Levi Lord. I mean, I can't imagine a guy with that name would expect anyone to be able to get that without a master's degree.
But apparently they're like pretty famous cowboy names, so maybe we're the only 2. It proves that we're not actual rodeo cowboys.
Egasquiza.
Yeah. Anyway, they posted a 3.6 last night, and after a very fast first round, that was their second round, they lead the average by more than a second. What did you remember the total of the average? What their average was?
I don't remember what the average was.
But it was something crazy, and
probably
like
15 seconds.
No, not even close. I think it's like 7.6 or something like that. But anyway, after the rodeo last night,
I thought you meant there were over 2 runs. You were talking about over 2 runs?
Yes.
For team roping?
Yes.
I just remember 7.4.
That's all I'm saying. That probably is the average.
Okay.
Anyway,
I thought team roping took longer.
So I met up with them after their second go, and like he was just as fast as the first, and they lead by 1. But yeah,
1 second.
Yeah. Without further ado, James, let's go ahead and play that interview. All right, joining me are the new average leaders in the team roping by more than a second and a half after a 3.6 run today. Go ahead and introduce yourself, guys.
I'm Dustin Egasquiza.
Levi Lord.
All right, guys, in that run, like you already had a good round 1 go. Like what made y'all want to be so aggressive? I'll start with you right here.
We're going to place good in the first round. Hopefully win it if we hold up in the next round. But I asked him riding around back. At these average rodeos, it's kind of a weird spot for me. I don't have a great middle kind of game right now. I feel more comfortable just going full out fast or just completely safetying up, and sometimes that's probably going to take a little too long. So we were both good with it. We're on board with the just trying to win something in the round. The rounds pay so much here. This is an amazing rodeo, and it's kind of worth the gamble. And I'm glad it paid off for us.
And are you okay with that same aggressive play style?
Yeah, I think I'm even more okay with than him. I mean, he kind of maybe steers against it because he maybe would look silly if we're 3-8 on the first one, and then he misses the second one going at him like that. But I have all the confidence in the world that he can make that shot 100 out of 100 times, especially in a setup like this. So yeah, we were definitely on board, and like he said, the rounds here pay really, really well, so it pays off to go at them.
Can we expect the same thing when we see y'all again?
I don't know. We've got a decent lead right now if it stays the same, so hopefully the short round might be a little easier, and we can just take our time, make it more of a practice spin run, since it's not really a one-header in the short round. It doesn't pay quite as much as this round, so I'm just going to try to do whatever it takes to win this rodeo now. I haven't been able to do that in my career so far, and this is definitely a top one on my bucket list.
So that'll be big. All right, guys, and again, you're looking at the leaders of the average right now with a 3.6 run, have a more than 1.5 second lead over the rest of the field right now, and all of this team roping coverage has been brought to you this year by Lip Chip. All right, guys, thank you so much.
And thank you, Lip Chip, for sponsoring our timed events there in team roping and steer wrestling and tie-down roping and breakaway roping. We really appreciate that. And with that, let's learn a little bit more about Lip Chip and, I guess, breakaway roping. Play the ad.
Link system powered by Lip Chip, where a simple microchip becomes a secure key to unlock temperature, record health paperwork, and check in and out of your equine events. Simply implant, scan, and unlock all your horse's information, making it easy to compete at the highest of levels. Lip Chip is owned and operated by a family of horsemen, and our technology is designed and assembled right here in the USA. We know how you ride. The future is here, and the future is Lip Chip. Let her rip, Lip Chip.
Okay, so the proper pronunciation for Dustin's name is Iguskiza.
Iguskiza.
Say
that five times fast. Yeah, exactly.
We have a lot of that going on in this rodeo. A lot of strange names, right? Anyway, the next thing that happened, we are covering the mutton busting as if it is a part of the whole rodeo thing. Of course, it's not a PRCA sanctioned event. But anyway, mutton busting is when you put a 4-year-old kid on a sheep and see how long he can hold on, or she can hold on. And Saturday night, Bonnie Gonzalez of San Angelo was the clear winner. And I really love the mutton busting because Ryan Chadwick has to figure out some
struggle.
He has to find some really, I guess, innovative ways to try to interview these kids. So let's see how you did this
I will
time.
say one thing about this ride in particular, though. She got a 96.
A 96. That's higher than the 93 of the last guy.
That's 4 points away from perfect. So let's put it that way.
All right, let's watch it.
Okay, joining me is Bonnie Gonzalez, our newest Sonora Mutton Busting champion. She had one of the highest scores I've ever seen in the rodeo. Do you remember what score you got?
96.
96, wow. Do you like holding on to the sheep and riding the mutton busting?
Yes.
And at the rodeo, what would you say your favorite food is at the carnival?
Cotton candy.
You like the cotton candy? Do you like the red or the pink or the blue better?
Pink.
Is it because you're a girl or is that your favorite color?
Is that good?
Okay. Okay, well, again, we're looking at the newest mutton busting champion with the 96. Go ahead and hold that buckle up to the camera and show everybody. All right, guys, and all this mutton busting coverage has been brought to you by Sonora Bank.
All right, that was Sonora Bank bringing us mutton busting, and that was a winner. Congratulations, Bonnie Gonzalez of San Angelo. Number 9 rolled in there with a 96.
Yeah, and I liked the interview too, short and sweet. She gave me the answers that she wanted to give, and we got out of there.
That's because you didn't ask her about turkey legs.
I don't care what anyone says. It's my favorite food at the rodeo.
All right, coming up next, this is a preview show for the Extreme Bulls. It's brought to you by TriStar Fleet Sales and Service. Now, TriStar has 3 locations in town. The two locations you need to be most concerned about is the main one is up there on 3705 North Bryant, just north of 29th Street. I don't know if we can get any kind of B-roll going on this, because we got some B-roll for TriStar Fleet. There we go. They are San Angelo, the Concho Valley's Mahindra dealer. And they just got their Mahindra dealership this month, and they're stocked up. If you're looking for a really good deal on a Mahindra tractor, this is the time to go. 3705 North Bryant at TriStar Fleet. I mean, and the selection. I mean, I was like, man, if you guys are going to be a Mahindra dealers, y'all didn't just buy 2 tractors. They bought 2 rows of them. So, and one more thing you do at TriStar, you can get a tractor with a trailer. So, they sell trailers too. TriStar Fleet up there, 3705 North Bryant. They also have another location in the 700 block of Knickerbocker Road, right there across the street from ASCO. If you're going north or east on Knickerbocker, just before you get to Bryant on the right. They have the Mahindra UTVs that Roxar. They also have a lot of golf carts made by Icon. So there you go. This is their display here at the rodeo for TriStar Fleet. Anyway, thank you TriStar Fleet for sponsoring our rodeo coverage, our and also specifically our bull riding. And today is going to be TriStar Fleet Day because it's nothing but bulls.
Yep, and let's get into it. Like, first of all, let's talk about the difference between the actual performance and what Extreme Bulls is.
Okay.
Now, there's bull riding at every rodeo, and we keep the standings and whatever, depending on how well these cowboys do, they are sent to the finals next Friday, right? Or Saturday, I guess. No, it is Friday. Yeah.
All right, got it.
Next Friday. But in that, like, Extreme Bulls is its own separate event. It's like a special event, like a break in the rodeo, right? Where the only thing we're going to see tonight is bulls.
Right. 2 go-rounds.
Yep, we're going to have 2 go-rounds.
In rodeo, it's a go-round.
Yeah, and how many cowboys are going to be in these go-rounds? Is it going to be like 12 to 15 or something like that?
A lot.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot. I'm pretty sure I heard.
There'll probably be more in the first one than the second one. They're taking the top ones in the second one, right?
So I remember hearing Boyd Paul-Hamus, he's the announcer at the rodeo, say something last year that we're going to see 25 different bulls go tonight. So do the math if you want to figure that out.
And the bulls have weird names. Like the #1 bull right now for this rodeo is Bruised Kitty.
Oh, yeah.
And
got a 9-point write-off, Bruce Kitty.
And they got another bull named Let's Go Brandon.
Yeah.
And another bull, let me think.
Piggly Wiggly.
Piggly Wiggly.
There's one called Domestic Violence.
Yeah, Domestic Violence. I mean, you know, it's just completely not politically correct for 2024, some of these names. But that's just part of the spirit of rodeo.
Right? Yeah, but anyway, it's going to be interesting. We're going to see a lot of good cowboys ride some tough bulls, and hopefully it's going to be a lot of fun.
And the scoring is half bull, half cowboy. Is that how they do it in the bull riding?
It's just, yeah.
So if the cowboy rides and gets his 8 seconds, but the bull just kind of, you know, trots around, he's not going to score very high.
No.
Likewise, if the cowboy may get 8 seconds, but I guess his posture's not correct, or he didn't spur the correct way,
or he barely hangs on, like, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, so
it's subjective. But
you think it's subjective? They have to go to judge school.
Yeah, well, I'm not. You can still be subjective and still be like accurate, you know.
You can?
Yes.
Okay, we tell that to all the people that complain about my.
It's like MLB umpires, you know. Take out Angel Hernandez, and then all the other umpires are doing pretty good.
Okay, all right. Well, to get into the bull riding spirit, you interviewed Matt Meritt, who's the barrel man, who is the guy who kind of keeps the. There's 3 cowboys out there. They're primary in keeping the bull from killing the rider after the rider gets bucked off, because they always invariably get bucked off, whether they make it 8 seconds or not. But he's the guy in the barrel. He's also co-host of the rodeo with Boyd Paul-Hamus. And you got to talk to him.
I did. It was a really good conversation. He's a really interesting guy, and it was neat to just learn his story and support him any way you can, because like I said, he's a great guy. So,
brought to you by TriStar Fleet.
Let's go to that interview. All right, guys. Well, joining me now is Matt Meritt, entertainer, rodeo clown, co-host of the San Angelo Rodeo, I might say. How are you today, sir?
I'm good. I'm really good. It's been a great trip here so far. I like how cool it gets in the evenings.
Oh, yeah. Well, for now, just wait. If you were here in a couple months, it'd still be about 98 after the sun goes down, you know. But we are now a full week into the rodeo. We're about to, we're in the midst of the performances in week 2. Just go ahead and tell me a little bit about what it means to be a rodeo clown and an entertainer.
Yeah, so rodeo inherently, because of the animals, there's downtime, and I feel that downtime. And a lot of times it's kind of the production dictates when I get to work and when I don't. Like if we're switching from bareback riding to steer wrestling, there's usually a gap there, and maybe they'll introduce me, or I'll do something sponsorship driven or some comedy. But then also, like in the bull riding is a great example. There'll be the 3rd bull out, for instance, and he might give the guy trouble. Well, the 4th bull out also isn't ready yet. So you kind of have to know the sport good enough to watch what's happening and realize they're not going to be ready soon. And I can start some dialogue with the announcer and work with Josh, who plays the music, and just make people in the audience not realize that we're having a problem, really, is what my job exists for.
And like technical difficulties do happen. Like we saw that last weekend, you know, and so it's one of those times where you just step up and you just have to basically make content on the spot?
Yeah, well, I know you're a sports guy, so for me and my livelihood, that when something happens like a big re-ride with only one bull remaining and we have to keep the show going, or equipment failure or lights going out or something like that, that's my fourth down in the red zone, and I'm in the huddle with the announcer and the music director, and I'm going, give me the ball. This is my chance to entertain people and have fun, and that's the biggest challenge that I have is either the biggest challenge would either be the entertainment, the content you provide, because people have phones in their hands now, and if I like baseball, I can look up my favorite team right now. If I like shopping, I can look up my favorite website and easily be distracted. So being able to provide entertainment that people won't look away from is probably the biggest challenge, and or being able to do it on the fly when something causes a real break in the show.
And you perform and entertain basically all over the country. So is it one of those you have to like get to know each city's favorite teams and interests and whatnot? So if you want to bring that up.
Yeah, well, I'm not afraid to pander. While I'm here in San Angelo, I'm a Rams fan, but I look up things like I look at the National Day calendar, celebrity birthdays, get on Wikipedia and I research the cities, counties, local rivers, and the history, and anything I can dream up to help me. And then, of course, things that are happening in the news and in the now, I keep up with that. But yeah, man, I go all over, and it's just so different everywhere you go. I've been to Australia 10 times, Canada, Mexico, 48 states here in the U.S. And, this part of the world, it's a little bit different because there are people here that rodeo is very normal. They grew up with knowing someone that rodeos probably. A horse is a normal animal to see. I can go to Cleveland, Ohio, and it's a novelty. They're not sure if the bull rider brought his own bull with him or if this is real, or it's like they think it's like wrestling where we're writing a script. So it's quite different how I try to treat the audience everywhere I go because they expect something different from our show.
Yeah. Well, speaking of scripts, I know you always have a comedy routine. You tell jokes and whatnot. Is that something that you write yourself? Is that provided for you? Do you reuse it all over the country, or is there any times where you just make unique jokes for unique performances?
Yeah, well, I have a few bits that I'll do. Like one of them that I do often is the wave, and I'll do it fast and then do it in slow motion, and it's a little bit of a
fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's
a gimmicky deal, like I've seen it at a minor league baseball game before. And there are some things that you can count on, and you know how long they last, and you can stretch the show when you need to. But more importantly, I'm really proud of the times that I don't write it down, and I try really hard not to because I want to talk about things that are happening right now. And again, that helps me not have people looking at their phone, because if they don't know what you're going to say next, they're more willing to listen to hear that. But if they kind of have an idea, like if it's a joke where you say knock knock, you can't do that but so many times, and people are like, yeah, I've heard it.
Well, and not to mention, it just feels more natural, right?
That's right. It is natural, and I'm really proud of that. I don't get it done all the time, but the times that I do those are my home runs.
Now, in addition to just the overall entertainment, like we all saw you on the rodeo floor dancing, cracking jokes, talking with the other announcer. You also are the barrel man during the bull riding segment, right? And so just tell us a little bit about that and what that entails.
Yeah, well, I could go really deep. You can stop me if you need to hurry up here, but the barrel man thing, it's halfway crazy to think that someone at some point decided, hey, I got an idea. Let's take a bunch of old tires and stack them up, and you hide in that. Like, I don't know how it started.
While a 2,000-pound monster comes at you.
But if you really look at the dynamics of what's going on, if you got a guy riding a bull, whether he rides him or he gets bucked off of him, he's got to get away safely. Okay, so there's bullfighters there. We have Clay Hager and Noah Krebs here at San Angelo, and they're going to get on foot, distract the animal. Then, as a backup plan or a reserve, I'm out there in the barrel, and I've got handles. I can lift it up, and I can walk with it as fast as possible to get in position to give them something to hide behind if they need it or if the bull rider needs it. In the case, let's say a bull travels halfway across this pen in San Angelo and a guy gets knocked unconscious. Well, now he's just out in the middle of this big expanse by himself. So I can go there, and hopefully the bull hits me or a bullfighter, or provide some protection. I always say, if a grizzly bear's chasing you, you're going to hope there's a tree to climb, and that's that barrel. It's a tree. You can just move it around.
So at the end of the day, it's all about the safety of the cowboy who's on the ground.
Correct. Yeah, the goal is not for me to be hit. If it happens, people laugh and they think it's cute and funny, and that's fine. And I'm glad people enjoy it. But at the end of the day, that's not what it's for. It's there to serve as a protection for the bullfighters and the bull rider. And a lot of times, a guy will get thrown toward me, and then his first instinct is to look for help, and then he can run behind you, and I can move the barrel and get the bull's attention. I'm not the greatest barrel man ever, but I'm trying to learn it, because reading cattle is a big deal. Like, just being able to tell what direction they're going, if they're really going to hit something, or if they're bluffing. And the bullfighters are great at that. I would say I'm subpar at it.
Now, you actually sent us a video clip of when a bull actually did hit the barrel. Just go ahead and walk us through what that moment felt like. And it was in Fort Worth, right?
Yeah, it was in Fort Worth Stock Show and Rodeo, I believe. But he hit me so hard I don't remember when it was. But there's two angles. I don't know which ones. Are we gonna be able to see them out
Yeah,
here?
we'll probably run through both of them.
Okay.
I don't know if they're gonna be ready right at this second.
No problem.
Yeah.
I just wanted to explain what we're looking at. But there's two angles. One is the audience's view, and then the other one is my view. I'm wearing a pair of glasses that film. But I didn't know he was gonna hit me. Most bulls, the bullfighters, they give you like horns, signal, or this, and kind of let you know this one's mean. Stay ready. This bull had no clue he was going to be mean. I now know him by name, and when I see him, I get ready. But anyway, he came from quite a distance away, which is bad. Normally, a bullfighter would be near my barrel, and they throw a fake and make that bull change leads and slow down and hit me with a little less force. But he saw me from a great distance, and he comes really hard and really fast, as you'll see in the video. And he hit the barrel so hard it dented it, and it knocked me unconscious. You'll see my view. You'll hear the sound, I guess, if the audio is good on there. But yeah, I rolled for quite a ways, and Dusty Tuckness was fighting bulls, and he got over there, and he said, he went, Meritt, you good? And I was like, yeah. It didn't make any sense.
But you were okay after that, right?
Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah,
right.
Totally great. It's good to be here.
Well, let's talk about the other half of that then. It is the professional bullfighters, right?
Right.
And these guys are nuts, to put it one way. Like, it takes bravery, it takes guts, to be able to stare down a bull and get in the way of a bull and a cowboy who just got bucked off, and to get that bull on them away from a cowboy who's on the ground. Just all the respect goes out to them, right? But just talk us through your experience when you were briefly a bullfighter.
Yeah, I tried it for a couple of weeks, because when I started doing what I'm doing, I started in high school, so I was around guys that rode bulls, and I thought, I'll try to be a bullfighter, just because I thought it'd be cool to be a tough guy. And I found out really quick it wasn't for me. And I hope anybody watching this, if you take away anything, be honest to who you really are, because I could have gotten someone hurt. I didn't have the heart and the mental fortitude for it. They say it slows down, and they also say people, what is it, fight, flight, or freeze, and I would do all three when a bull. I would think I was doing something in my head, and physically it wasn't happening, and I was just too scared of them. And I'll be honest about it, I was, and I'm not ashamed of that, because you're supposed to be. But then these guys that fight bulls at this level, at the PRCA level, Noah and Clay, who are here at San Angelo especially, they're the kind of guys, and I don't want to take away from any of our military. To me, they're the top in the whole world. But if you had to compare them to someone, I would say like a Navy SEAL, he won't ring the bell, right? He just won't. You're kicking sand in his face, you're screaming at him, he's mentally, physically drained, he won't ring the bell. Because something about certain people make them that way. And I think all bullfighters have that tick in them that just they won't ring the bell. I ring the bell.
Yeah.
I'm a bell ringer.
And there's no shame in that. What is the biggest bull you've ever seen?
I saw a bull for a while. His name was Mississippi Hippie. He was at a lot of the bull ridings, and he was 2,300 pounds, and his back would be almost level with the top of the buck and chute. So when a rider would go to get on him, he was above the chute. So that was, he was a bit of a monster to look at, and that intimidates a guy a lot. And that's what's crazy to me about a bullfighter is they don't get intimidated by, those bulls when they're. You'll see in this video, the one that comes to me, imagine that's you, but you're on foot. You're not in the barrel. I mean, it's so fast and aggressive.
And no protection.
No, I mean they're wearing pads and stuff, but they're
not in a barrel. Like
what they do physically in that split second has to be right, or they pay for it. So it takes a special guy, and then the fact that they're providing their body up to be hurt instead of someone else's. That's kind of it's quite noble, really.
Well, yeah, and it's like without these guys, we couldn't do the bull riding like we do.
No way. And we have the Extreme Bulls will be here, I think, Sunday, and it's bulls only. So I was talking to Clay today. We went out to the Bar None Ranch and hung out a little bit, but he was telling me that here alone, he thinks he's going to fight 200 bulls around in San Angelo.
Crazy.
So think about that. You're talking about fighting one bull in your whole life would be like a bucket list, and you would tell everybody you did it.
Yeah, it's like, well, I'm just doing 200 this weekend.
He's doing 200 in San Angelo, around 200, he said. So it's a lot.
Well, I definitely hats off to those guys. They're very brave, and they make the bull riding what it is. It makes it to where we don't have to worry about those cowboys as much. So other than that, I'm going to give the floor to you just for a second. I know that during the halftime shows this year, we've already had some exciting stuff with some horse or stunts with horses, and I know that you mentioned that we're going to have a bull jumping.
He's
yeah. But you're also going to be able to put on your own halftime show. Do you want to give any sort of preview?
Yeah, whatever you want. I mean, I like to talk about it. So yeah, we've had Jessica Blair here for a number of performances. She'll be here this week. She does Liberty and Roman riding. She's quite an equestrian and a trainer. Manu Latas from France is coming to jump bulls, 2 performances, and then the 2 remaining performances that they don't have an act for, I get to do that. I like to do crowd participation stuff. If you've been to a performance since I've been here, you probably noticed that. I like it to engage the audience. So I don't do kind of your typical acts where like I come out with props and things, but I will be bringing people out of the crowd, and I've got a couple of games. I don't want to tell exactly what they are, but we'll give away some really good prizes, and we're going to laugh with people, not at them, but we are going to laugh. How about that? Is that
all right,
fair
sounds
enough?
good. All right, guys. Well, if you see Matt like out of the arena, or if you see him in the arena, go ahead and yell at him. Tell him he's doing a great job. But again, this has been Matt Meritt. He is the co-host of the San Angelo Rodeo, entertainer, rodeo clown, barrel man, and guys, all this bull riding roughs off coverage has been brought to you by TriStar Fleet.
All right, so what did you learn from the great bullfighter? We can't call him a bullfighter.
Yeah, he's a
Call him
barrel man.
Barrel man.
Like that's what I learned. That was the main difference. Like he said, I tried it. That was not for me.
He didn't want to be a bullfighter.
Yeah, he's like, I don't have to be in
he
the
wants
bull's
to have
face.
he wants to have his house.
Well, I mean, no, I don't even say that. Like he said to himself, was like it takes a certain mentality and a certain mindset to be able to stare down a bull, and he just didn't have it. And there's no shame in that, you know. Like he got hit in that barrel and it knocked him out, you know. He still is in there, but he doesn't have to like get in the bull's face as soon as the cowboy comes off, you know. And so it was, like I said, it was a really interesting interview, just to get his perspective on it. And also, I had never really thought about like the more production side of the rodeo, where he's like, okay, this is taking a little bit long. Like now I have to find a way to make the show.
And he only has so many Yeti coolers to
exactly.
give away.
So yeah,
he's the giveaway guy.
But yeah, thanks for coming on, Matt. That was an awesome interview, and yeah, we'd like to have you on again in the future.
And all of this bull riding that we're covering is brought to you by TriStar Fleet. And TriStar Fleet is the Mahindra dealer for Concho Valley. They're located up there at 3705 North Bryant, and also at 703 Knickerbocker Road, right across from ASCO, right before you get to South Bryant. And if you're looking for a good deal right now, this is the time to do it, because they just landed their Mahindra dealership. They have lots of stock, and I'm sure that they have deals worked out with not only selection but price. So right there, you're looking at a Roxar HD all-weather. That's a utility vehicle. It has 3,500. It can tow 3,500 pounds, which means, Ryan, it could tow our big production trailer. Did you know that? That little UTV can.
I mean, that's pretty impressive.
Turbo diesel, 4 on the floor. I don't know if I'd let you drive it, though. It's a standard.
I mean, I could figure it out.
You can figure it out. You got any other pictures up there? I'm kind of stuck on the... No, nothing else? All right. Well, they also have tractors, the Mahindra tractors, and not only can you get a tractor, but you can get a tractor with a trailer. That's at 3705 North Bryant. It's way north of 29th Street. If you're coming in from Carlsbad, there's a Jesus sign.
Yeah, so look directly beneath the Jesus sign.
It's on the right-hand side of the road. TriStar Fleet and Sales and Service, thank you for sponsoring our bull riding coverage. We're about to go into Extreme Bulls now, so let's have it. Any last thoughts?
I'm just excited. The bull riding is my favorite part of the rodeo, and an entire show just dedicated to bull riding. I'm here for it.
And it's gonna be fun, and because you can put your arm around it. It's just one thing. You kind of learn a lot about the bull riding, and of course, listening to Boyd kind of give his history. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
But anyway, this is Joe Hyde and Ryan Chadwick to my right. We are with Angelo Rodeo Live, and we'll see you after the Extreme Bulls.